Greetings everyone, it's Michael Anastasiadis here, mortgage advisor from Bosanoff Mortgages, Mortgages Made Easy, coming to you live with today's big announcement with the OCR, the Reserve Bank today, the monetary policy team. They cut the official cash rate by 0.5%, so 50 basis points from 5.25 to 4.75%. So it's great news. A lot of the economists had been picking that. Some of the banks had already moved with some of their interest rates, and I believe there's going to be room for further cuts. So I'm just going to read to you some of the information that they put out in their press release today, because it wasn't a full monetary policy statement today, so it was only just an OCR announcement. So there's no press conference. So this is what they said, and I'll read it. The Monetary Policy Committee today agreed to cut the OCR, the official cash rate, to 4.75%. The committee assesses that annual consumption price inflation, that CPI, is within its 1 to 3% inflation target range and around the 2% midpoint. So we're going to get that data from Stats New Zealand next week. So that's where the Reserve Bank wants the inflation to be before they can start making cuts. And that's why everyone was thinking that we'd have cuts in November, because it's not until next week we get that data. But obviously the Reserve Bank has seen something to show them that inflation's at that 2% midpoint at the moment. So that's why they've gone ahead with this 0.5 cut to make it 4.75. Now look, they've gone on to say economic activity in New Zealand is subdued, in part due to restrictive monetary policy. And for those that have been watching my videos for a while, the Reserve Bank has wanted to have restrictive monetary policy to get inflation down. And they're saying they've done that. But if you're in Wellington, you can see the cost that that's come with. Anyway, business investment and consumer spending have been weak, and employment conditions continue to soften. So basically, we're not spending our money, businesses are closing, and unemployment is rising. Low productivity growth is also constraining activity. So yeah, that's the sad news, and that's something that the government's got to fix, our productivity. Anyway, so they've acknowledged that their restrictive monetary policy has done its job, but it's now having other impacts in the economy. Then they conclude by saying the committee acknowledged that the outlook is broadly consistent with the August monetary policy statement, and members agreed that an OCR of 4.75% is still restrictive and leaves monetary policy well placed to deal with any near-term surprises. So that's a case of any shocks of prices going up. So shocks could be something from the Middle East, and all of a sudden the price of petrol goes up. So the committee confirmed that the future changes to the OCR would depend on its evolving assessment of the economy. So they've left it open there. So on one hand, they're saying they're keeping it restrictive in case of any shocks. But in the first part that I read to you, they said that they've been too restrictive. So if you read between the lines, and that's what we have to do with these things, it sounds like there could be further cuts. And the next OCR announcement is 27th of November. So just over a month away. So that's when we're going to have the next OCR announcement. And some economists are picking another 0.5% cut then as well. Now, this is the big news. Yesterday, ANZ, they announced for a limited time only a 1-year rate of 5.59%. Previously, that was 6.19. They've now got a special for ANZ customers, 5.59. So that's, you've got to have that 20% deposit or 20% equity. And if you've got a loan that's coming up for renew, you should be able to see that on your online banking app, where they allow you to reserve that rate. So you'll be able to see it there. So 5.59, that's the best 1-year rate I've seen for a long time. Now the 6-month rate is still high at 6.69, And 18 months, well, why would you fix 18 months? 5.79, 2 years, 5.69, just ridiculous. But that 1 year rate, 5.59. Now, we know that tomorrow all the banks will lower all their floating, variable, revolving credit facilities, those sort of floating rates, they'll all come down by 0.5 tomorrow. That's pretty much a certain. But now we just got to wait and see what are the other banks, including ANZ, what are they going to do around their 6-month rate and the others, the 1 year rate? Is anyone going to match that ANZ, that 5.59? Or is, to use an America's Cup term, how long will ANZ be in the dirty air out of the rest of the pack at that 5.59? Only time will tell. There's no indication when they'll take it away, but it's going to be a risk, because if you lock it in, it looks like potentially there could be another cut in November, and that 5.59 could easily be close to just over 5%. So that's the risk people are going to have to make weighing up in their decision. So if you've got a mortgage that's coming up for refixing now, make sure you're talking to that advisor, your mortgage broker, mortgage advisor, your banking expert, whoever you're dealing with, to get that right advice. Because I've got some clients that are staying on floating until November. They can afford to do it. Their mortgages aren't that bad. They're in a good position, and they're going to look to refix sometime in December, because then the next OCR announcement isn't until February next year. So that's what some people are doing. But, don't follow the herd. Don't be a sheep. Make sure you're getting the right advice for your information, because a lot of people are going to be tempted by this new 1 year rate, especially those at ANZ, 5.59. But depending what happens in November, that could be even lower. So make sure you get that specialist advice for your circumstances. If you want to know more, my details are here all in the social media page. But that's the big update. OCR cut by 0.5. ANZ out there already, 5.59 for 1 year. And once I see what the other banks do, and this will take a few days for the other banks to make a decision. Yes, the floating rates will drop tomorrow by 0.5, but it's those fixed rates that we want to see what's going to be happening. And I'll bring that to you here as soon as I have them. Anyway, guys, hope the school holidays are going well wherever you are and you're having some sunshine. Bless you all. Thanks for watching. Any questions, feel free to get in touch. Otherwise, I'll be back live with another video tomorrow to give you the fallout from today's announcement and if there's been any change to those rates. And like I said, that 1 year rate from ANZ, 5.59. Be interesting to see how long that'll be around. Right, guys, ka kite, God bless, and we'll be back live with another video tomorrow.